Growing up, I moved around a lot. But out of all the places we lived, there's one house I'll never forget, because I'm convinced we weren't the only ones living there. Some houses creak, some houses groan, but the one we lived in? It stomped, it slammed, and it left scars I'll never forget. I moved around a lot when I was a kid. We were the kind of family that always had unopened boxes sitting around, moving with us from one place to the next. My dad was a good man, but he never got along well with authority because of that. He struggled to hold a job for more than a year. So every time a lease ended, we'd pack up again and move closer to wherever he worked next. During one of those moves, my dad came across what seemed like a bargain. It was a small 2-bedroom, 1-bath house with a detached garage. Rent was only $300 a month. This was back in 2003. The neighborhood wasn't great, but that didn't bother him. The landlord did mention one thing, though. I'm required to let you know that someone passed away in this house within the last 5 years. My dad didn't care. The rent was cheap, so he signed the lease. We moved in soon after, and that's when things started happening. Almost immediately, we heard strange noises, like someone else was in the house with us. Drawers opened and closed. Doors swung by themselves. The bathroom faucet would turn on, then shut off again. It never felt hostile, so we carried on with life. But the house did have one peculiar feature. The front door had keyholes on both sides. That meant you couldn't lock or unlock the door without a key, whether you were inside or outside. And wouldn't you know it, just a week after moving in, the keys vanished. With boxes still piled everywhere, my dad lost his temper. He cursed, shouted, even accused me of taking them. Then, out of nowhere, we heard the keys drop onto the living room floor, right in front of the couch. My dad picked them up, muttered under his breath, headed out for work. But that was just the beginning. For months, the keys became the focus of all the strange activity. Each night my dad placed them in a glass bowl on top of our old tube TV. By morning, they'd be gone. We'd find them in bizarre places. Once inside a sealed box of pots and pans that hadn't even been unpacked. The box had small handholds, and it was as if someone had shoved the keys inside just to mess with us. We laughed, but deep down it was unsettling. Now you might be thinking, what's so scary about a few noises and some lost keys? Well, really shook us. Almost every night, around 2 or 3 in the morning, we'd hear heavy footsteps stomping back and forth in the hallway outside our bedrooms. Later, when I asked my dad about it, he admitted it unnerved him too. One night, after months of this, I finally shouted into the darkness, "Stop stomping around! I need to sleep, damn it." First silence. Then, about 15 seconds later, it sounded like something charged my door at full speed, followed by 3 thunderous knocks that rattled it. The noise was so loud, it woke my dad. I lay frozen in bed, my stomach twisting with fear. Then I heard him call from his room, "You okay, buddy?" I forced myself to get up, but my whole body was trembling. I stumbled toward the bathroom, barely making it before my body gave out. My dad followed, worried, as I sat there crying, terrified and embarrassed. Afterward, he told me, "If you ever feel uncomfortable, you can always sleep in my room. Nothing will bother you when I'm around." The final straw came a week later. My dad's girlfriend had been staying with us more often. One night, after a minor argument before bed, they went to sleep upset. At around that same 2 to 3 a.m. hour, she was yanked out of bed by her ankle and dragged down the hallway. She said she woke up on the floor, confused, while something pulled her leg. She screamed, and instantly it let go. She bolted back to the bedroom, switched on the lights, and told my dad what happened. That was the final straw. My dad sent me to stay at my aunt's house for safety, while his friends came by to help with packing. Almost every one of them mentioned the same thing. They saw a little white dog wandering around the house the moment they walked in. That house was definitely haunted. I still think about it sometimes and wonder if whoever lives there now has the same experiences, or if things finally quieted down. Bonus story. My dad's girlfriend had brought a yoga ball to the house. As an energetic 8-year-old, I loved playing with it. She told me to be careful, but we started rolling it back and forth. I sent it her way, and it froze in midair. Then, instead of reaching her, it bounced straight back to me. She was horrified. I was too young to brushed it off, saying she didn't feel like playing anymore. We went and did something else that I hope you enjoyed this story.